Hello, great people. Welcome back. Nigeria has been able to achieve tremendous results via the instrumentation of the social media, especially as regards the outcry against the purchase of the presidential yacht, which was included in the supplementary budget that was submitted to the National Assembly to approve. Don't forget, because of that, it was declined, but shockingly, the Navy has gone further to deliver it. I mean, this is one of the high-handedness I've never heard before. And according to the info made available, there was no budgetary provision from inception about it, but it's been delivered. And this is coming from the House of Representative chairman of the committee that is in charge of budget and other stuff. So we're going to be listening to full details of what he had to tell Nigerians. Though Navy has been under budgeted, but going an extra mile to buying it without approval of the National Assembly and without any budgetary provision is such a big question to answer. Let's look at the full details as the House of Rep intends to commence investigation immediately. According to the news, the House of Rep has accused the Nigerian Navy of buying the controversial 5 billion naira presidential yacht captured in the 2023 supplementary budget without the approval of the National Assembly. It was earlier reported that the Navy had confirmed the delivery of the presidential yacht, saying that the sailing boat has been in the country since June 2023. Oh my God. In an interview on Friday, the spokesperson for the Nigerian Navy, Commodore Adedotu Ayo, said the procurement was done during the administration of the former President Muhammadu Buhari to replace the defunct presidential yacht, insisting it was for training. But the chairman of the House Committee on Navy, Honorable Yusuf Gadi, has denied knowledge of any budgetary allocation for the procurement of the presidential yacht. Speaking with the Nigerian Tribune on Saturday, the Plateau Lawmaker stated that the committee will investigate the infraction committed by the Navy. According to him, he said,
the routine inspection by the Customs and Immigration takes place, and once all parties are satisfied, the guest takes to the podium.
No provision in the approved budgetary provision for the Nigerian Navy over the past 4 years. The lawmaker stated that the procurement of the sailing boat is out of place, stressing that it must be provided for in the 2023 budget. According to him, I quote his words, it must be provided for unless if it is a special intervention which we can oversight. Even if it is a special intervention, we can oversight. While responding to a question on any other subheads provided for among the 62 billion naira supplementary budget proposed for the Nigerian Navy that he considered as unnecessary, Gandhi said the Navy has been treated unfairly. He said Navy for being treated unjustly. If the Army has over 200 billion naira, the Air Force will have 112 billion naira, and the Navy will have only 62 billion naira. It means they didn't consider the Navy as one of the armed forces agency that protects the national asset. You want revenue. You didn't want crude oil theft. You don't want piracy. You don't want oil bunkering. Instead of strengthening the agency that is vested with the responsibility of defending the country by sea in terms of our natural resources, you are giving money to other sister agencies beyond the agencies that is responsible for the economic prosperity of the nation. I don't think that supplementary budget is even fair to the Nigerian Navy. I can say that any day, anytime. But I equally see that the presidential yacht in the budget is equally not supposed to be there. It can't be provided for in the budget. There's nothing wrong with the appearance of the budget. But again, if the yacht is already been in our waters, who provided for the logistics? You paid for the yacht and the yacht was supplied. What is the arrangement with the Nigerian Navy? I don't have answers to these until we investigate what is going on. When asked about the possible time to commence the investigation into the procurement of the presidential yacht, he says, I don't want to be under pressure. I can't say anything until I go back to the House, call committee members, sit down and study the nature of things before we can commence investigation. Oh my God, a lot of things are happening in this country. I don't know if this one will classify it as another impunity, but I must say that it is totally wrong for the Navy to go as far as bringing it in when they have not passed through the normal process of bringing this thing in. Now, let's just look at what Moyele Sowore, who has been really talking about this presidential yacht, have to say. Don't forget that Moyele Sowore was African Action Congress presidential candidate in the just concluded 2023 presidential election, and he has reacted to it. And let's listen to what he has to say via one of his social media pages. He says, "These artificial bad scammers won't rest thinking most Nigerians are foolish. The story has changed so many times about the hashtag Yachtgate that even that the scammer can't cope with their lies." He is complaining that they can't even cope with their lies and all of that. Don't forget that Aline Dume, who is the Borno State lawmaker and also the chief whip in the National Assembly, had said something about that the lack of involvement of the presidency in it, that the yacht actually was not part of the budget as it has to do with the president, but that it has all to do with the Navy, but that it was approved but not delivered. But shockingly, the thing is already in our waters, and so which means Nigeria is billed to pay 5 billion naira. The question is, who provided for it in the budget? Was it approved? These are some of the questions that will form a baseline for that investigation, because I must say that this is totally out of place. The Navy are doing this by their own strength. It takes nothing for you to include it, and when they call you for budget defense, you go and explain why we are putting this budget line is because we have a lot to contend with, we have a lot to do with it, as it has to do with the training, as it has to do with the combating, this territorial water theft and oil bunkering and all of that. It's as easy as that. But the situation whereby it has not been approved for the last 4 years that President Muhammadu Buhari was in office, it was never provided for, neither was such approved. And you have the audacity, these guys didn't get mine. You have the audacity, not caring whose ox is good, not caring who is the president, but you have the audacity to bring it in. I mean, this thing must be properly investigated, because already Nigerians are seeing a lot of things in it here. Number one thing is that somebody is benefiting from this whole show. Because how can you bring in something for a whole country? Because Navy is under Nigeria, for a whole country, without the knowledge of those who are supposed to approve it. It is meant to go through the normal administrative bottleneck, and after all of that, which is appearance in the Senate, after they come out from the Senate, if they approve it, it stays. If it doesn't approve it, then money will not be shifted to Navy in that regards. But it's never been provided for, and you go as far as that. This is taking laws into their hand.